Okay, heading down to the bottom of this old slope mine here, and gonna check out this interior tunnel and head on back behind it here. So it's about 1,500 feet down to the water line, and it'll be interesting to see how far the water has receded or if it's up. So anyway, video some more towards the end when I get to the tunnel. But you can see these steel beam supports. Still got the cable wires here. So of course they took up the rails. They were heavy-duty rails, maybe 80, 90-pound rails for the skip cars. Skip cars loaded were about 12 tons, including the weight of the skip car, including the ore that was brought out. So this was a really, really deep mine. Went for about 2.5 miles underground. So, all right, we'll just head on down to the water line. Okay, so we're getting closer to the bottom, and just thought I'd stop it. These are old work hitters going back to early 1900s, and wooden timber support still in place. So it's not a sharp down angle, but it's maybe 25 degrees. When it hits that tunnel down there, it'll go at about a 40-45 degree down angle. So, and these are some more of the old work hitters right here, and that's the water pipeline right there. You know, they always had trouble with the water flooding the mines, so they were constantly, it never stopped pumping the water out. So, okay, and that right there where the middle light is, that is a hoist roller. They were mounted in the center, and that's what the huge 1 3/4 hoist cable rolled on as they were pulling up the mine cars to keep it in place. So, and this is just one of the old work hitters here, and that'll go back a good ways if you want, if you're so inclined to do that. So there's some pipes and stuff over there. Incredible engineering how they did this. I would not have wanted to be the people, the miners or the engineers had to put this in place all these years ago. So, all right, we'll keep heading on down, and that is the hoist cable roller right there. So, tunnel is just up ahead. Okay. There's another one of the hoist rollers there. And up ahead is the interior tunnel right there. And you've got the old work hitters up here. I think, I'm not sure if those are air compressor lines or old air compressor lines or what. Not sure. But But anyway, this is the interior tunnel. They hit a fault in the ore seam back in the early 1900s, and the rest of the old mine goes down above the tunnel. So this tunnel had to be constructed, I think it was in the 1920s, and the tunnel goes down about 300-400 feet, maybe a little deeper. And what it did is it went up under the existing slope to hit the ore seam again. So this is how there's several faults, geological faults in the ore seam, and they had to literally make this tunnel to go deeper to connect with the ore seam because it had split and broken off the who knows when, but it was a geological fault, so they had to do this to reach the ore seam. So, but this is the interior tunnel. It's a remarkable piece of engineering to make this deep inside of a mine. So, all right, we'll take a look around here. Okay, this is a look at inside the tunnel right here, and it starts dropping off pretty steep, so this is as far as I'm going to go. Way down there, that black mass, can't probably see it in the video, but that's the water. So, but anyway, it's pretty steep to go down there and to come back out. All this is pretty slimy because evidently, you know, the water was really up in this mine at one time. So, but that's what it looks like down the interior slope tunnel here. You can see there's a hoist drill where my light is still in place. But that's just a mass jungle of steel I-beam supports, rotten wood and timber. So anyway, and that big hook right there is probably part of the skip car, the cable right there, or the hook you want to say, that went in, that pulled the skip car out, the eye hook, I guess. So, all right, and we're going to go up top and check the backside. Okay, a little different view right here. And there's the tunnel right there. Just a mass of old electrical wires. You can see that pipe right there. That cable on the other side there, it's holding that pipe up. One day that thing will go. There's another work header over there. But there's the water pipelines right there. And this is another old work header right here. Huh. That's actually part of a mule shoe right there. I wonder how long that's been hanging there. Going back to, this mine started in the 1880s. You gotta wonder how old that mule shoe is. Probably early 1900s. But anyway, just a big jumble of all kind of thrown away stuff, sections of rails, stuff, pipe right there. But this is the backside of the interior slope tunnel, and you can see it's concrete lined, pretty much all the way down till it on the top, and then it drops right there. So and this is on top of it right here. Must have been weird if you were standing up here when they were pulling out one of those skip cars. The noise must have been horrendous. They came out about 40, 45 miles an hour being pulled by the hoist cable. All right, and what we're going to do is just proceed on down here and check out the water line here and see what it looks like. Okay, we're on the back side of the interior slope tunnel. This section is the oldest section of the mine. This was the original slope right here. And this right here are all the water pipelines, and you can see where they had water problems. There's a big recess in the floor, mine floor, the old mine floor. So, but anyway, that's pretty precarious. So we'll get past that and move on down, but all the water pipes still in place. Ceiling's about 30 feet high, 25, 30 feet high, probably between 25 and 30 feet high, but that's an old huge wooden timber support there. Hate to have been one carrying that in. So, all right, get around this. Okay, just had to do a little tightrope walk over those pipes right there. Get on the other side of this. And this is one of the old work headers here. And the interior tunnel, it's already dropped. We're past it. So what you see here is the original slope mine. So that's a big hole due to a water subsidence right there. And those are all sections of rails. I don't know if they were ever used or they were and they just put them there. But anyway, just up ahead is the water, so we'll see how far we can go. There's some work headers around to the side. Okay. Yeah, these are the rail sections right here. Not sure what that is. That could have been a compressor line pipe. But that right there is a rare piece of mining history right there. That was what they called a self-acting tipple. And it would have sat up on these high work headers, and a skip car would have been lowered down through here, and the miners bringing the ore, pushing, or the mules or horses, you know, pulling the ore carts, they would have pulled them up here, and then the miners would have pushed the cars right into that self-acting tipple. The wheels would have gone in there, and what happened was it had rollers on the bottom, and this whole thing would tip over and keep the mine cart in place, and there was a chute, a flap, if you want to say, in the mine car, and it would open up and it would pour right down into the skip car. And then when the skip car was full, it would be hauled straight out. But I can't imagine how heavy that thing is, but that is a very rare piece of mining history. And those are actually, they were bent. Those were actually rail sections that were actually heated and bent in that manner. So the mine car, the wheels would have just rolled right into that thing. So that's a fair piece down there. That's probably about a 40, 50 foot drop going down there. So, okay, well, and that's not long for standing. Can't even believe it's still there. But anyway, we'll check this out here. Get down to the bottom. Okay, all this light, this mine's so big, it just kind of sucks up the light right here. But this is as far as you can go. This is the water line. Around that corner is an Intech water pumping system I'm going to see if I can get to. But the water has gone down significantly. And this is it. This is this big black mass. This is the water line. Can't go any further. So water level is still up pretty good, but it's amazing how the water will rise and fall with all these deep underground aquifers. Some of them are 3,000 feet deep. So, but anyway, we'll see if we can get around the corner. We'll probably have to go up to that work header, go off to the left, but it is remarkable how these miners, these engineers, all this stuff had to come from topside, and how they got all this stuff in here, hooked it up. Just incredible. Just brute force manual labor to do all this back then. So, all right, we'll see if we can get around the corner. Okay, so gonna come up through this work header here. Tell you, there's a good breeze down here. I don't know where it's coming from, but we're about close to 600 feet below the surface here. So there are connecting mines, so it might be coming from one of them. Okay, here we go. There's the water. This is just a workaround to get to that water pump. So I'll clear that and I'll video some more. Okay, so this right here is an electrically operated water pump transfer station. And this was, there was a manufacturer, I think it was out of New York, that made these in the early 1900s. Cameron is, I think, the correct name for this, if I recall. But this is a very rare piece of mining history. You just don't see this. And you can tell this is underwater most of the time with all the yellow cake. But this is an electric transfer pump. And that's what they had. They had pumping stations. When the water was being pumped out from the deep recesses of the mine, sump pumps, This was a transfer station that sucked the water up and then pushed it up out. But very, very rare to see this. I think there's, yeah, there it is. Actually says Cameron right there. Very, very rare. You only see these in pictures. So, okay. Well, all right, let's get the water levels down. And you can see where that's where the water level was, where I was earlier. It just wraps around the header wall and starts heading up out of the mine. So, okay, check out a few more things before we wind it up here. Oh, I made a mistake earlier. That other flooded section up ahead, that wasn't the manway. This was the manway passage right here. Kind of zigged and zagged coming down the side of the slope. But it's hard to tell. But those are actually mule and horseshoe prints right there. Still in place. Little, can't really tell, but they had little steps right there heading down into the next section. So, but the water over the decades has kind of made them almost unreadable. But those are actually mule and horseshoe prints right there. That's how old this section of the mine is. So, all right, we'll double back, head back to the slope. Okay, so this is the other side here. Just a quick look down here. You can see that's the water level. And you see how the water level has come up through that breakthrough passageway. And you can still see the rails right there underneath the water, just barely coming out of the water. But anyway, I was just curious. Check that out. But we'll head back up here, take a quick look at something else, and start making our way on out. Okay, so this is on the other side of the slope. This is an old work header here. Wooden timber supports, pipes, and a lot of rail sections right there just placed over here. And you can see these are where the cross ties were. Those gaps, that's where the wood was, and it rotted away. So, and this has also been underwater at various times. So the water level can rise and fall. Doing some research about it can rise and fall a good 500-600 feet. So, but this is just one of the old work headers. And there's the rail sections here, not too bad a shape, just discarded. That's actually a connector right there, rail connector here. So you can see this was once lined with wooden timber supports, probably going all the way down. So, okay, well, get back on the main slope up top, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, back to the original starting point here. All right. And take a break for a few minutes before starting the long walk back up out of here. And that's a long look way back up. So, pretty deep underground. At this point, it's about 450. Further down there, it's over 600. So, anyway, good trip. Good trip. Good to see all this stuff again. So, okay. Now for the long walk back.